Hi Virgo, welcome to your reading where we are going to dive into what energies you can expect in October of 2025. I do want to note that we just had a full or total lunar eclipse on September 7th, 2025, and it was actually culminated in the full blood moon, which was in Pisces. And then on, I believe, the 21st of this month, we have a partial solar eclipse and a new moon in Virgo. So lots of energy is going to be potentially impacting Virgo placements. We know lunar eclipses are synonymous with endings and just really closing out certain chapters. And then we know that new moons and solar eclipses are all about welcoming in new energy. So let's see how all of this energy is going to pan out for you in the following month ahead. And if this is your first time here, welcome. Stay for the messages and take what resonates with you personally. Wow. Would it be an Astrologyslore reading if energy didn't fall out the way that it did? And we have, boom, just like that, 4 major arcana. Okay, so let's take a look at this together. You have the Death card, the Sun card, the Strength card, King of Cups, and the Hierophant. Very interesting. So we have, not that it has to resonate this way, but we have Scorpio, Leo. Both of these are Leo energies, and then we have Taurus energies. So some of you Virgos coming across this message could have a Scorpio, Leo, or even a Taurus connection. It doesn't have to mean that. But again, strong changes here for you Virgo placements that is happening or occurring in the month of October 2025. Strong changes are happening. So what I find very interesting is the fact that even though there's some changes that are happening, we have the Sun card next to the Death card, which tells me that these changes are not only illuminating and sort of bringing to light certain cycles that needed to change, but also there's happier times ahead. So it almost feels like a positive change here, Virgo. It seems like whatever is shifting for you in the month of October is bringing about some positive changes, because we already know that Virgo may not necessarily be susceptible to change, even though you are considered a mutable sign. But the Strength card, the King of Cups, and the Hierophant, this is sort of bringing in some deep spiritual cleaning with the Hierophant energy. Some of you could also be tapping into school or higher learning or ascending in some area of your life, career. I really like this energy, Virgo, and I feel like for all intents and purposes, this is a very positive energy that is coming across the reading because, we have the Sun card and the Strength card. So I feel like for those of you Virgos where things have been feeling a bit heavy for you because of eclipse season, because of the Sun currently being in Virgo, and then also having this total lunar eclipse that just happened on September 7th, I feel like things are going to feel a lot lighter as we progress on throughout the rest of the year. So October of 2025, I see a lot of positive changes, and I see you embracing these changes in a very massive way. But let's go ahead and clarify this energy in the reading and see what else is coming through. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune on top of the Death card. Yeah, just like I said, positive changes happening. So even though this energy might feel a bit intense, Virgo, you could be going through a very intense time where maybe you're just like, why are all of these things happening at one time? The Wheel of Fortune is sort of bringing forth these opportunities, these doors. I picture a revolving door of opportunity coming to you. We have the Two of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Page of Swords, and then let's clarify that Hierophant energy. Trying to get a good grip on these cards. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. You know, this is a Sagittarius lighter. I'm a Sagittarius moon. And then we have the Temperance card that just flew across the table, which is represented by Sagittarius. So some of you that come across this reading could also have a Sagittarius connection. It doesn't have to mean that. But let's break this energy down. I want to sit with this energy for like 2 seconds because I feel like for a lot of you Virgo placements, again, I'm picking up on very intense energy, very intense changes around career, intense changes around certain relationships, and just the way that you view the world overall. And I feel like some of you Virgos might have even, this energy could even be more positive, you know, like some of you Virgos could have had a very positive reception to the changes that are happening here. So, for example, even though these changes have been intense, even though this transformational energy is coming through and spirit has been sort of closing certain chapters and certain doors, you know, it's also like some of you have really been dealing with it quite well. Maybe you've even been like energetically preparing for these changes. So to kind of pull the story together, we see a big cycle completing. And for some of you Virgos that come across this, again, this could be in career, this could be in the area of finance, or even with regard to a personal relationship in your life. Something definitely ended or changed here. There's definitely been some transformational energy. And then the Wheel of Fortune is almost like when one door closes, another one opens. Then we have the Sun card and the Two of Swords energy. So a lot of you Virgos, even though you've been handling this energy quite well, you may not know how to deal with this, or you may not have known how to maneuver with this energy, right? We have the Strength card and the Eight of Wands. So, you know, for those of you Virgos where this was like job related or financially, I feel like you're getting some good news in the month of October around your finances and around career that's really going to shape how you feel moving forward. I really like this energy. And then we have with the King of Cups and the Page of Swords. You know, I feel like some of you guys, some of you Virgos, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of spiritual awakening happening as well. So some of you Virgos could really be tapping into your intuition a lot more. You could really be more curious than usual with that Page of Swords energy about how to tap into certain things. And this could also be speaking to those of you Virgos that work in the spiritual realm. Maybe you're, you know, like a spiritualist, or you read tarot, or you know, take up other facets of spirituality, Reiki. I'm just hearing certain things come to mind that you could be diving into in the month of October. And then with the Hierophant and the Temperance, you know, this is energy of something balancing out. So to my Virgos where things have been feeling a bit crazy, things have been feeling a bit intense, you are not crazy, okay? You are not crazy. I think it's really important for me to reassure you of that. You're not crazy for feeling a bit overwhelmed this month at all. Okay, things are balancing out for you. So for those of you, again, that are tapping into higher levels of learning, higher levels with your spirituality, things are really balancing out. And you're not crazy for that, Virgo. You're not crazy for experiencing that or for going through that. I want you to remember that and keep that in mind. But when one door of opportunity closes, another one opens. So we have a lot of deep expansion and growth happening for you Virgo placements. Let's pull an advice card to round off the reading. Ooh. This card fell out. So we have setting boundaries taken from your throat chakra. It talks about teaching others how to love and respect you by how you love and respect yourself. Look at that. You know, this is actually very significant energy. And the reason why it is because we're kind of seeing where you have been setting some boundaries, Virgo. You've been setting some boundaries with people. And what I want to say to you is, if setting these boundaries cause people to feel upset, cause people to feel away, these are the same individuals who benefited from you having no boundaries, right? So you're right where you need to be right now, Virgo. But just remember that you're not crazy for feeling all of this intensity right now, and that when one door closes, another one opens. Okay, Virgo? So that is your reading for the month of October 2025. I'm sending a lot of love and light your way. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, Virgo.